How I went from being overweight, out of shape, feeling sorry for myself, to being physically capable and body confident enough to do fitness competitions without my shirt on. I know that sounds like a weird goal, but that got me from here to here. The following tips are what I subscribed to, what I researched and implemented and worked for me. Step 1, diet. My diet. It's an obvious place to start, but it makes sense to address it first, as it's quite possibly the most important. Body fat and muscle mass both hinge massively on what you consume day to day. Most people can tell the difference between good and bad foods. It's just important that you lean towards the good foods. If you want to make changes to your body, then you've got to cut out a lot of the crap that's going into it, I'm afraid. You need to stop thinking that you've earned the right to eat bad foods all of the time. If you don't address the things that are wrong with your diet, then potentially you're going to slip further from fitness and closer to ill health. And when I say cut out the junk, I mean all of the chocolate, the fizzy drinks, the beer, the wine, the crisps, the takeaways. I mean all of it, really. You have to stop feeling like each weekend that the weekends don't count, or somehow you've earned a takeaway. But from a calorie point of view, you haven't earned the right to eat that. Your body will see those calories, see that badness, and just store it on your body. That means a little bit further down the line, many weekends down the line, you'll have to deal with that retrospectively, trying to lose those calories from the vast amounts that have been stored on you. Aim to eat less sugar. Reduce your carbohydrates, but don't kick them out completely. They're important. Crank up your protein so that your muscles are supported. The rough guide is 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight. Get fat-free versions or reduced fat versions of your essentials like milk, butter, cheese and yogurt. I find those really helpful. And personally, I've swapped all of my white stuff, pasta, rice and bread, I've swapped them all over to brown or whole meals. Number 2, intermittent fasting. Now, when this one's mentioned, it seems to cause a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction. People seem to assume that you've got some sort of eating disorder. They take a good look up and down you. You don't need to lose weight. I know I don't need to lose weight. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm trying to reduce my body fat and keep my muscle mass, is generally what's going through my head. It is by far the simplest and easy way to drop body fat. At the start of my 10-week, I did enough research into 16/8 fasting to give it a go. The basic premise is to only eat within one 8-hour window each day, leaving 16 hours where you fast. In reality, all that means is eating no later than 9 p.m. and not eating until 1 p.m. the next day. Most of that time you are asleep and don't care. And the only real food you miss is the following morning's breakfast. Now, I'm a busy guy. I've got 2 kids and we all have to get out the door in the morning. So missing breakfast isn't no big deal because I'm busy. It works because your glycogen that's stored in your muscles from the previous night's meal is burnt naturally throughout the day. And at about mid-morning are depleted. All of that storage is depleted. So your body is then running completely on backup power, i.e. your body fat. I will then always eat a hearty lunch, healthy lunch, and a decent sized dinner in the evening. A normal dinner really. Both decent portions. It's important to rubbish the idea that it's somehow starving myself, because I'm not. If you saw what I eat in each particular meal after that, people think I'm overeating, but I'm not, because I'm eating well. The bottom line, it helped get me from this to this. Number 3, running. Now I like running, and I like exercise in general, but running needed its own little feature in my list. Running itself needs a special mention. Why? Running still burns more calories than just about any other exercise. Despite the sort of millennial gym bro culture that's risen just lately, who regularly shovel shite about not needing to do cardio, the bottom line is you really should. Not to just look fit, but to actually be fit and keep your heart healthy. If you can somehow get muscles and lean without doing any cardio exercise, that's fine. But don't tell people to do it. Basically, your heart is the most important part of your body when it comes to exercise. If you want the fitness of an overweight 50-year-old but loads of muscles, then follow the gym bros, it's fine. But if you want to actually be fit and be able to exercise respectively across a multitude of disciplines, then really consider your heart health. I generally structure this as a long run on a Monday, hill work on a Wednesday, and a speed effort on a Saturday, something like a park run. Number 4, weight training. It's the other side of the exercise coin. So you don't physically waste away, it's important to keep those muscles active. And the best way to do that is to go to the gym and lift weights in a resistance style. I would either do that through a combination of sort of bench style lifting and mixed with high intensity circuits, and I would get them together, and I would do it on a Tuesday and a Thursday, and sometimes a bonus session on a Sunday if I have time. But it's important to remember the point from the diet on point 1, that you must keep your protein high to support your muscles when they're going through the repair phase after these kind of resistance sessions. You must have the protein inside of you to sort of enable them to repair and grow. Step 5, stacking some of the previous points together. In some cases, I would run earlier in a day rather than in the evening. I'd run in the morning, or go to the gym in the morning, train in the morning, and this means it would occur in, say, my 16-hour fasting window. Exercise during this period is considered fasted exercise, and therefore is optimum time to burn body fat. Why? Because all of your stores of stored glycogen have gone. So your body is solely fueling itself from itself. So the more exercise you do in that period, the more it will inevitably burn from your body. Another example would be eating a lean lunch after a period of fast. So like a lean chicken salad is a prime example of this. It just means that you're doubling down on your efforts, and you'll just get progress slightly faster. This is just a short list of things that I have done, and it's basically listing habits that I've got into. Each of these points could have become a video by itself. Everything I've talked about have contributed directly from brinking on the edge of being overweight to being in competitive shape. Obviously, everyone responds to different stimuli. There are a million different ways to get results from your body. Some are massively convoluted. Some take ages to implement, and some are really quite extreme and not worth bothering with in the first place. People with a strong opinion one way or the other are generally trying to sell you something or a service, or tell you how to do it. Ultimately, I prefer to do my own research and try something for myself, and then create my own opinion. If something works, I generally do a bit more of it. If something doesn't, I will do less of it. It is the common sense approach. There's a little bit of trial and error, but sometimes it's worth it to figure out what works for you. I am now in my second 10-week period, and I'm continue with the points that I've done above, but a slight tweak to my fasting, because I've already lost a lot of that body fat. I'm reducing it down to sort of 5 days, and I'm easing off a little bit. I'm sort of hovering around the sort of 12-13% body fat. Before anyone tries to rubbish any of the above, I'm now back in my 32-inch waist trousers from when I was 21. My fitness is through the roof. And at the age of 42, I'm in the best shape of my life. There's been no silly systems, no over-the-top programs, no weighing my food. It's a simple principle of research, try, learn. Research, try, learn. Anyway, if I can, you can. Martap.